consistent basis, be it gold, silver or bronze. But one incident has really soured and has made many Indian fans very, very angry. The incident happened in the India versus Australia women's hockey match. It was the quarterfinal. The odds were very high and the stakes were also huge. A win for India against a dominant Australia could have pushed them into the medal contention. But now what has happened in the semi-final? Full time, India and Australia were level 1-1. It was a fantastic effort yet again by the India women's hockey team. Remember, in the Tokyo Olympics, India had defeated Australia, and here they withstood a barrage of Australian attacks in the semi-final, and that's how you saw India 1-1. But then Australia won 3-0 on penalties, but that's not the entire story. Savita actually saved the first try. But in an absolute howler and a shocker, the block was denied as the clock did not start. That is one of the main reasons why when the save was denied, the Indian shoulders slumped. Because how could a technical problem impact the entire course of the match? Well, this is what happened. Savita Punya brilliantly saved the first strike, but it was disallowed. The shoulders slumped and India lost 3-0 and a chance for either silver or gold. Now that is the thing, the decision had a huge impact on India and Australia won 3-0. Now what is that howler all about? The howler was the timer did not start and there was massive backlash on social media. Georges Marinier, the coach who was there with India when India finished 4th in the Tokyo Olympics, had said if the time made the difference in the first shootout, a retake would be fair, but time didn't matter. And the referees had to adapt to the situation. If Australia missed the first shootout, there will be more pressure on the next players and everything changes. However, he also gave a rejoinder saying, complaining and using bad language is not helping and it's about accepting the situation. Yes, it is unfair, but be proud how they played and how to deal with this, and this will make them even more stronger. That was wise words coming from Georges Marinier. But the Indian hockey fans were really hurt. What compounded the entire issue? Australia were not complaining. Yes, when it was the save was denied, Australia just went back and then they wanted to resume the game. But I don't think even the officials understood what happened. That seemed to be the entire situation which was developing. It's not an excuse, but that didn't help us for sure. That is what Yannick Schopman on the Shootout drama said. Yannick Schopman is the coach of the India women's hockey team currently, but even Australia were not complaining. Virendra Singh then went on Twitter and then yes, he was really, really angry and he pointed out the biasness of the umpires. So the 4 officials who are in the firing line now are Amber Church of New Zealand, Hannah Harrison of England, Rachel Williams of England and Katie Wright from Wales. Now let's get one thing very clear here, okay? The penalty shootout drama, the first save was denied because, and Australia were allowed to retake. Why? Simply because the clock did not start. However, the FIH have released a statement in this, okay? Remember, there is one part of the statement that I would really like to focus upon. In the semi-final match of Birmingham CG 2022 between Australia and India, the penalty shootout started mistakenly too early. The clock was not yet ready to operate, for which we apologize. There is a second part to this. The process in place for such situations is that the penalty shootout has to be retaken, which was done. Remember folks, this is the rule. The process in place for such situations is that the penalty shootout has to be retaken, which was done. This incident will be thoroughly reviewed by the FIH now to avoid any similar issues in the future. Remember this one statement, is that the penalty shootout has to be retaken. Now, what are the rules when it comes to the penalty situation? Whenever there is a penalty shootout, the first step is the delegate has to raise the hand. Okay? When the hand drops, at that time, the timer begins. If a player can score the penalty within 8 seconds, then the penalty is counted. Again, the delegate has to raise his or her hand and drop it. Only then the penalty can begin and end. But what actually happened in the India-Australia match? The delegate, the technical delegate who was at the side of the pitch, did not raise the hand, did not drop the hand. He raised it but never dropped it. The timer never started. If you actually looked at the match, the timer was not on. So how could the player take the penalty? That was when the referee came in. The referee waved it on. So it was actually the fault of the referee that she allowed the game to go on. Technically, you should not have even started the penalty shootout. But there was tremendous confusion. So what happened after that? The technical delegate shook her head at the umpire. She said, no, this is not the way how it is to be taken. She explained the situation to the teams, and that is how the retake was allowed. But even here, there is a major problem. What is the problem? When is a penalty retaken? The penalty is retaken if the attacker commits the offense. Fine. Outside of the field of play. Fine. 8 seconds elapse. Australia did not convert the penalty after 8 seconds. There was just no time. So, the FIH decision, the process in place was such that the penalty shootout has to be retaken. But if you look at the own rules of the penalty shootout, it does not fall under any of the purview of it, because the attacker did not commit the offense. The goalkeeper also unintentionally did not commit a foul. Even it wasn't outside of the field of play, it was within the field of play. And it is not that Australia took 9 seconds. Even Virendra Singh pointed that out. So under what grounds could the FIH and the referees allow that penalty to be retaken? That is the major reason why Indian fans are really angry, because it does not come under the purview of any of the 3 criterias, yet it was allowed to be retaken. Now, why did that happen? Because there was a technical misinterpretation of the rules, and that is why the umpires were found wanting. I'm sorry, the umpiring in this case, just for that one retake, was shoddy. They did not implement the rules, and as pointed out by Shopman herself said that it's not an issue, but it didn't help us. So I don't think even the officials understood what happened. One remembers that a similar incident had happened during an Olympic qualifier, which Virendra Singh pointed out. It was against the Netherlands some years back. Netherlands versus Ireland, I think that was it, if memory serves me right. A similar incident had happened, but that time it was swept under the rug. Now, after all this, what has happened? A medal has been lost. You cannot review it, and that is why the umpire's decision is final. But this is a lesson that technical misinterpretation of the rules can really be problematic, because a penalty can be clearly retaken. These are the rules of the Hockey Federation, FIH. If an attacker commits an offense, if the ball is outside the field of play, and if it is 8 seconds elapse, if the penalty is taken after 9 or 10 seconds, it's over. You cannot take the penalty. Unless there is an unintentional foul by the goalkeeper, then you can retake the shot. If there is an intentional foul, then a penalty stroke is awarded. So, under all these circumstances, it was a massive blunder by the officials. That is why Indian fans have every right to be very angry about it. India, unfortunately, now will have to play for the bronze. One hopes that this will galvanize them and make them stronger for future events. If they win the bronze, it's great. If they win other future tournaments like the Asiad and the Olympics, this incident will serve as a wake-up call. So, again, it was a very poor controversy which was misinterpreted by the officials on the field. One hopes that the FIH takes the lesson out of it and implements stricter and better rules for penalty takers. Thank you so much, folks, for listening to this live. We'll be back with more action from the Commonwealth. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to download the SportsTalk app and check out the SportsTalk website for all the information that you need on the Commonwealth regarding the schedule, Olympics, the live blog and the medals tally. Thank you. Bye-bye.